Good morning, NCHC family. This is Mary Beth Rathie, and I'm here as the Executive Director from the National Collegiate Honors Council located here in Lincoln, Nebraska. This morning, I'm here with Sandra Pérez, a nominee for one of the 3 board seats on the NCHC Board of Directors. Sandra, thanks for taking time out of your day to be here with us, and I'll let you just kind of give us a brief introduction.
Sure. Thank you so much, Mary Beth. Good morning, afternoon, evening, fellow NCHC members. I'm Sandra Pérez. My PhD is in Hispanic Languages and Literatures from UCLA. I am currently a director at California State University, Fullerton. I have been a director there for 6 years, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. Thank you for having me.
So Sandra, just the first question, and probably the most obvious one, is why are you interested in running for the board?
Yes, so for me, in my current institution, my current position, previous positions, and in the NCHC board position, for me, it's truly an opportunity to serve and give back. 6 years ago, I was a new director, and NCHC was incredible in supporting me through the Beginning in Honors program. I did that twice because I needed, just the time to digest my role, what I was trying to do. And I really appreciated, and I still appreciate very much, all the resources that NCHC offers to new members, to, more seasoned members, and to members who have been doing honors education for a long time. So for me, it's an opportunity to give back. I really like that NCHC is an organization and a space that's willing to question tradition, that's willing to go beyond existing models, that's willing to take an honest look at current issues, and think about what is an honest, inclusive way to move this forward. And so I would welcome the opportunity to be a part of that.
Thank you. So as you talked about inclusion and being trying to visionary and break different models, where do you see yourself, or where do you see NCHC in a period of 5 years or so?
I see NCHC as continuing to lead, continuing to model, right, new ways of being and thinking in the world. And so I would like to be a part of that, right? I want to talk with colleagues and members and students. What are our struggles today, right? What are our social and political and educational barriers, and what do we need to do to overcome those? How can the NCHC members, how can this community contest, provide new models, new opportunities, right? And move towards implementing better ways of doing what we do. And if we know we have, for example, a problem of institutional racism, right? What can we do? What can we do locally? What can we do collectively? And how do we plan for that, right? And I know NCHC is a space where you talk about ideas and you move towards doing and implementing. And I really appreciate that as well.
Thank you. We shared with all of the nominees a copy of the strategic plan. Mm-hmm. And so as you've reviewed that and as you've thought about it, you've talked about being part of this for 6 years or so. Which one of those particular areas do you see yourself focusing on or strengthening, and what strengths do you bring to that area?
Sure. So of the 5 areas, I inserted myself in the Committee Diversity and Inclusion, and I've been a member and a participant of the presentations at the NCHC conference, the Diversity and Inclusion Forums. And so it's an area that's dear to me professionally, personally. I definitely would want to participate in that area. My campus at Cal State Fullerton last year hosted the 4th annual National Society for Minorities in Honors Conference. Mm-hmm. And so that space to talk about underrepresented students in honors education is important to me, and I would want to continue those conversations. I have mentored for many years undergraduate, graduate, junior faculty of color, And so I have that experience, and I can contribute, in that area to sharing best practices. I also see myself contributing to organizational excellence because it's a goal that serves members. And I think I'm a good listener. I think that I can collaborate across all sorts of divisions, and I can listen and think about what are the needs and how do we address them. So member needs is important to me. And I also see myself contributing to professional development. As I said, I've been part of NCHC, and I felt, new and welcome at one point, and I felt more experience at another time. And so I want to continue, right? I would hope we continue to offer resources, conversation to all members at all levels. In terms of research and advocacy and partnerships, if the board needed me to contribute in a particular way there as well, I would do that. It's, for me, leadership is not about me, it's about what is needed and serving in that way.
Thank you. So serving in leadership, and particularly in the last 7 months under COVID, could you share a few thoughts about how COVID maybe has impacted the honors community and how you see NCHC, or whether NCHC can play a role in serving the COVID barriers that we face?
Sure. Undoubtedly, COVID has affected all of us, right? Our lives are so different than what we've known in the past. And I definitely think NCHC can play a role and is playing a role. I think it's about, remembering what's on all our minds, health and well-being, right? And how do we share strategies of health and well-being with the NCHC community, with our students, with other institutions. And NCHC has put a toolkit for online courses on the website, which I think is fantastic, right? But you could add to that, for example, community building resources during remote learning, right? Community building through face masks and social distancing. You could add a resource to collaborate in terms of research, right? A challenge right now is if you work with in the social sciences with humans, or if you are in a lab situation and can't continue your research, well, thankfully, there's a lot of data that was collected prior to COVID-19, right? That could be shared as a way to move research forward during this time. So those are some ideas that I have, but my last idea would be there's a consultant component to the NCHC conference. And how about if we did a monthly consultant Zoom forum, right? Where we could just come in and talk about our COVID challenges, right? And brainstorm together and think about what we have before us and how our membership and our leaders can give some feedback and give some guidance. So those are some ideas.
Thank you. So the last question I have for you kind of allows you to share how you want to interact and provide guidance to a rather large board structure. So if you wouldn't mind sharing just what you feel is the best characteristics of a board member, and then the ones that you think characteristically you bring to the table and are your strengths.
Sure. So characteristics that I think are important in leadership: integrity, respect for others, courage, empathy, selflessness, right? An ideal board member has some of these, but it's somebody who can listen. It's somebody who can represent the diverse voices of the NCHC community, right? And help collectively move us forward. I am someone, I think, who listens to different voices. I would welcome that opportunity, right? I'm an empathetic, respectful leader. And so I think I could, even if I disagree ideologically with somebody, I can have a conversation, right? I can talk about those issues. It's okay. In all my leadership positions today, I have been department chair. I was president of the World Languages Council for the California State University system. And I've always try to focus on a few goals at a time and then move those goals forward, right? And once I've met what I was hoping to do, then move to the next thing. So in the same way, sort of focus leadership, right? Not trying to do 20 things at once, but really committing to a few things and moving that forward. And then, progressing as much as one can, collaborating always, listening always, and working. I love that the strategic plan and the way that NCHC works is not just let's brainstorm ideas, but let's do something about it, right? And so I would want to contribute to doing something about it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that wraps up the really formal interview piece of the conversation. Is there anything you'd like to add that we didn't ask, or something that you think members would value as they consider the vote and the election in December?
I think institutions, I think NCHC, I think we have all these social structures of power, right? And I think that sharing in those institutional spaces, in creating spaces for social healing, for justice, for conversations that are not about me, but are about you and are about our collective well-being, right? In terms of health, in terms of education, in terms of opportunity, in terms of racial healing, in terms of social well-being, right? I think that is what's on my mind in my teaching, in my service, and my leadership. It's, that sort of ill at ease feeling that things are not okay right now, right? Where can I contribute? Where can I help to heal everything that's going on around us? And that's really my approach, to being a board member, to our political environment, our social environment. I just think that we need to talk it out and move forward for the well-being of all of us, not one group, not one person.
Again, NCHC members, thank you so much for listening today. I've been having a conversation with Sandra Pérez, board nominee for 2021. Please look for your ballots in the email after the beginning of December. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for that.